Good evening and welcome to this meeting of the Vale Horse General Licensing Committee. I'm Councillor Ron Batstone and I will be chairing this meeting. This meeting is being held at our office in Abbey House, Abingdon. Voting members are here in person as required, but officers are able to join remotely if they wish through Microsoft Teams. The meeting is being streamed live on the Council's YouTube channel for public viewing. Procedural matters for those joining remotely. When you are not speaking, please ensure that your microphone is muted and your camera is off. If you share a presentation on the screen, please stop sharing as soon as it is not needed. If councillors wish to ask a question or participate in the debate, please raise your hand. I don't think we need the evacuation procedure because everybody's local. Please can everybody ensure that their mobile phones, telephones and any other devices are switched to silent during the meeting. When the meeting has ended, I will ask for confirmation the live stream has ended. At that point, please leave the virtual meeting if you're joining remotely or make your way out of the building, remembering to sign out as you leave. Do we have any apologies for absence?
We do, Chair. We have apologies from Councillors Bentley, Fawcett, Border and Thomas.
The committee is asked to adopt and agree for me to sign as a correct record the minutes of the committee meeting on 30th of September 2024. Do you have a proposer? Seconder?
Second.
Proposer and Councillor Fielding, second. Councillor Lagova.
Yeah.
Are all in favour? That is passed. So I will, after the meeting, sign the minutes. Do we have any declarations of interest? And I have no urgent business. So in that case, we can go to the first main item on the agenda, which is the update to the Joint Contaminated Land Strategy. And I believe that we are having a presentation from Officer Scott Williams. Scott.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Rather than a presentation, it's me opening, and it will be an opening statement, and then happy to take any questions that the committee has on the newly contaminated land strategy. So the Council has a legal duty to publish a contaminated land strategy and periodically review it and to ensure that it remains up to date. Since the Council originally published its contaminated land strategy in 2002, there's been a significant change to the legislation and statutory guidance. And what this report seeks to do is present an updated version of the contaminated land strategy, which is now a simplified document, which is in line with current legislative requirements. It also ensures that we're upholding statutory guidance, and it reflects our current approach to primarily addressing contaminated land through the planning regime. Land contamination is a material planning consideration. It must be considered when determining planning applications, and planning decisions should ensure that a site is suitable for the proposed use, taking account of ground conditions and any risks arising from land contamination. After remediation, as a minimum, land should not be capable of being determined as contaminated land under Section and Part 2A of the Environmental Protection Act 1990. And what 2A does is provides a means of identifying and remediating land that poses a significant risk to the health or the environment, where there is no alternative solution. So the production of the Council's updated joint contaminated land strategy has been completed, and this is being presented to the licensing committee for approval. And I'm joined by officers from the environmental protection team, and we'd be happy to take any questions that the committee has on the newly proposed strategy.
Thank you, Scott. Do we have any questions? Councillor Barrow.
Can I ask about the relationship between the District Council and the EA, Environmental Agency? Obviously, there's a degree of overlap there, and I just wonder how the relationship works and how it, in terms of reporting contamination, etc., and processing it.
I don't know
Yeah,
if Darren was. Yeah, so we get Darren in to come on that. Probably easiest thing.
Hello there, Darren Detheridge from the Environmental Protection team. So you asked about the interaction between us and the Environment Agency. Well, they would be involved on in special sites. So that's where there is a controlled water issue. So if the controlled water is the reason for a site being designated as contaminated land, then they would take over the site as a special site. We would deal with any sites that are contaminated by virtue of the land being contaminated. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. I think it does.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have any other questions? So can we then move to discussion? We are asked to approve the recommendation that we adopt the updated joint contaminated land strategy policy, including Appendix 1, and agree that any future minor changes, such as legislation updates to the strategy, are dealt with under an individual cabinet member decision. Do I have a proposal for this?
I could propose that. I mean, the new document seems a lot simpler and a lot more readable and legible than the previous one. I think.
Totally agreed.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Right, that recommendation is approved by, proposed by Councillor Barrow and seconded by Councillor Lugovo. Is everyone in favour? I must admit, I thought it was a very good document. I enjoyed reading Appendix 1. It was interesting.
So just to be sure, Chair, that you've resolved parts A and B.
A and B,
To
yes.
adopt the updated joint contaminated land strategy policy and agree that any future minor changes to the strategy are dealt with under.
I see. We have indeed, yes. So we now move to the next item on the agenda, which is the proposal to revoke the Abingdon Air Quality Management Area. Now, Scott, are you speaking on that as well?
I am, Chair. So again, I'll just give a short opening statement, and then again, happy to take any questions that the committee has. So on this one, the council has a legal duty to assess and manage air quality in the district, declaring air quality management areas, which are referred to as AQMAs, when national objectives aren't being met, and revoking them when compliance is achieved. This report seeks formal approval to revoke the Abingdon Air Quality Management Area, which has now met national air quality objectives and has been doing so since 2017. The council has a duty to revoke air quality management areas, and by approving this revocation, the council will comply with DEFRA's guidance, reflecting the sustained improvements achieved in Abingdon. So again, together with officers from the Environmental Protection team, we'd be happy to take any questions that the committee has.
Do we have any questions? Councillor.
I'm just curious to know. I mean, all the measurements we've shown fall beneath the threshold. Was that a sort of overnight change? I mean, how did the just for my interest, how was the area set up in the first of all? How and why was it set up in the first place?
I'll pass across, if that's okay, Chair, to Simon and the team, who are far more experienced than I.
How the locations were chosen, is that your query or
question? Well, why we did it? Why?
Basically, back in 2005, 1995, the Environment Act came in and required us to monitor air quality across all our districts. And as part of that work, we identified Abingdon as being having potential issues, for monitoring in which confirmed there were issues back then, and that monitoring has gone on since that point. And it still continues beyond this revocation. So if you see the table on the actual report, it's got the data from 2017 up to 2023, which is our most recent year, and it's all under the national objective.
Yes,
that makes sense.
So there were no earlier. There
were historic exceedances, but a long time ago.
Yes.
Not on this report, because it's as long as they're under, as long as it's compliant for 5 years or more,
Yeah.
That's why we can now look in position to revoke the AKMA, because we've hit that 5 years.
So it wasn't overnight.
No,
But
no. I think COVID's got an impact on most of changing work habits and just cars and things getting cleaner as electric EV and cars getting cleaner as that combination.
Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Barrett.
What were you measuring? Was it sort of nitrous oxide or?
It's nitrogen oxide.
Only that?
It's the only pollutant we've got an AKMA for, and that's what this regulation.
Presumably, then, even though this is going to be revoked, I guess you can continue to
Yes,
monitor.
we continue to monitor. Yeah, continue to monitor, and continue that monitoring work.
Well, I think it's good that we can do this, and hopefully we can do the centre box in a couple of years' time.
Nice, yeah.
Perhaps we should do a press release or something. I mean, it is likely to be. It could easily be misunderstood. Could
It's a positive story. It's a positive
Yes,
outcome.
yes.
It has, us and our partners at the county has achieved the air quality improvements we've been paying. So,
Do you have any other questions? Sure.
You said that you'll go on monitoring. Is that sort of in perpetuity, or?
I think there'll be a point when it's if it's the levels are so low, it's not worth that. There may be 1 or 2 points we monitors for that perpetuity.
Everybody's driving electric cars.
At some point it may stop, but at least for the next 2 to 3 years, the plans continue the current network. Maybe it's slightly smaller, but no big plans to stop now.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No,
No.
just comment.
Yes.
Again, kind of, just really nice to know that we achieved that, just and have this like steadily, just over 5 years, just and all this improvement, and again, hopefully, just again, air quality continue to be better and better and better. Thank you.
In that case, I think we can move to the recommendation that the licensing committee formally revoke the Abingdon Air Quality Management Area Action Plan. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Skinner proposes, and the seconder, Councillor Shaw seconds. In that case, I think we can close the meeting.
We should move.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is everybody in favour? Sorry. Once I've got in that case, that is passed, and we can officially close the meeting.
Wonderful.